So I'm here over in one of my favorite rocks, Rapid City, M Hill. And today I'm going to talk about the self, ego, love, the other. There's something I find very obvious, but it seems it runs past so many people. And that is love of self. I mean, you can't attempt to love anything out there before you conquer this self-love, this self-acceptance. And what does that entail? It entails looking inside, looking at your shadows, and trying to come up with a marriage of these, of your light side and your shadow side. Very simple. It's something Carl Jung talked about with his shadow work, and is also what the Butoh dance is all about. It's about coming in contact with the shadow, dancing the shadow, because there are many sides of the individual, and when we are separated, how do we expect to form a love or integration with anything out there if we are not in this integrated state? And so this is vital, this self-love. From my many months of travel, I mean, I was in India for 10 months, and I was in Portland for a little bit after that, and I'm here in Rapid City. I've gotten a lot of alone time, and it made me realize that, well, the best person you can befriend is yourself. You can date yourself, love yourself, marry yourself. Because if that's not there, nothing's going to work out for you. I mean, it might be temporary. I sort of like to say that love of self is like a cake, like the base of the cake, and the frosting is any outer love. It's like the frosting on the cake. And ego ties into this. I feel that when we truly love ourselves, we have a mature ego. There's a witch hunt. One of them is ego, another of them is illusion. Well, I'll get to the illusion later. But there's a witch hunt with ego. And I don't see ego as necessarily a bad thing. So, I forgot my batteries and my camera came off. So I actually ran down all the way to the hill to my car to get the batteries and ran all the way back. And that's a fun exercise anyway, and I did it all barefoot. In any case, I was talking about the witch hunt of the ego. And it is very prevalent in the Orient, in the eastern side of the world, where they stress this thing about killing the ego, which I don't know if that's such a good idea. Because if you think of it, what is the ego? If you kill the ego, is that suicide? Because who am I? Am I not just a personality? Just a negative on a film screen? And the projector light being perhaps the self, which is maybe everything that we all share? And so if you destroy the ego, which is the negative on the film, the silver on the film, perhaps you just go back to the projector screen, which is no game, no illusion, no samsara. And so this ties to actually the witch hunt to illusion. Why kill the ego, and why kill the concept of illusion when you could say that everything is illusion? Everything seems like a game. But what's wrong with that? Isn't it fun? Isn't it fun to play? And so those two things, ego, illusion, I don't put too much stress on them. I know that for ego, what I like to say is sort of have this gold, tiny ego, but it's gold, you know? Because what egotism really is, it's not ego. It's like an aspect of ego. It's sort of like when ego inflates to a balloon. And this sort of ego, this egotism, is the type where a person does not truly love themselves. They're trying to prove themselves. And I say, if a person truly is into themselves, they don't have anything to prove. Because they're already doing their dreams, everything, they're already whole. They don't need any reassurance from the outside world. And so this ties back to love on the outside world. Have love on the inside world, and then you can get love on the outside world, and it's going to be very harmonious. Back in India, there was a Buddha student who mentioned of love of two different people, and that it should be like a parallel thing, not a perpendicular thing. I really like that. Sort of like you both just so happen to be on this same wavelength. You're not trying to prove anything to each other. You just both so happen to come together because similar frequencies attract. And so it's very important just to love yourself first. That's the foremost thing. Don't think that you're being selfish. I feel that you're selfish if you're not doing that, because if you're not doing that, it's going to reflect on the outside world, and you may just be viewed as an asshole and things like that. But if you truly look into yourself and you're very comfortable with yourself, I feel you're going to find your outside world, your interactions with people, it's going to be pretty harmonious.